Now to some local developments in the shooting at former President Trump's golf course in Florida. New tonight, WRAL has learned that the suspected gunman has ties to North Carolina and a lengthy criminal record. This is a picture here of Ryan Wesley Routh. On his LinkedIn page, he says he attended North Carolina A&T. We spent the night looking for all the connections we could find. And again, we found a criminal record. The North Carolina Department of Adult Corrections has records for Routh going back to 2002. Charges that year included possessing a weapon of mass destruction, which is a felony. Records also show in 2003 he was sentenced for driving without a license, carrying a concealed weapon, and hit and run. In 2010, he was convicted of possessing stolen goods. We also know the local Fox station in Greensboro is reporting Routh previously lived in the Greensboro area before moving to Hawaii sometime this year. We also found Routh's name in the voting records from earlier this year. He voted in person in Guilford County this March. The records show that he voted in the Democratic primary, though we did find that he is registered as unaffiliated. New here at 11 o'clock, we've learned that former President Trump met with House Speaker Mike Johnson at Mar-a-Lago, spent several hours with him after this assassination attempt. Investigators say Routh has not commented or made any statements about this incident, and President Biden released a statement commending the Secret Service and expressing relief that the former President Trump is safe. Alice Barr now has the details on the investigation.
For the second time in 9 weeks, the FBI is investigating what it's calling an apparent assassination attempt against former President Trump. The former president was not hurt in the incident near where he was golfing at his course in West Palm Beach, Florida. One man is in custody. 3 senior law enforcement officials briefed on the matter tell NBC News that man is 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh. This comes after authorities say a Secret Service agent spotted and fired at a suspect just outside the golf course fence line while the former president was golfing 300 to 500 yards away.
What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off.
A witness reported seeing someone run out of the bushes and into a black Nissan and snapped a photo. Sheriff's deputies then tracked the license plate and quickly stopped this black Nissan, taking the suspect into custody.
In the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro.
The incident raising new questions about securing the former president and Republican nominee. The Secret Service faced sharp criticism after former President Trump survived an attempted assassination at a Pennsylvania rally in July. The former president saying he is safe and well and will never surrender. Vice President Harris saying she had been briefed on the situation, was glad he is safe and, quote, violence has no place in America. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Yesterday, Senator Ted Budd posted on X and said, quote, I'm relieved that President Trump is safe, and I encourage all of us to continue to pray for his protection and for our country. Senator Tom Tillis also posting, thank God that President Trump is safe after another attempt on his life. Grateful for the quick response from law enforcement who responded and apprehended the suspect. You can look for more updates on WRAL.com and this morning on WRAL News starting at 4:30.
This morning, Donald Trump is safe, a suspect is in custody, and the FBI is investigating what it calls an apparent assassination attempt on the former president Sunday at his Florida golf club. Authorities say a Secret Service agent spotted a rifle in the bushes near where Mr. Trump was golfing Sunday afternoon and opened fire.
They have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual.
Agents rushed Mr. Trump to safety. According to the sheriff, a witness saw the suspect run out of the bushes and jump into a black Nissan. He was arrested a short time later. 3 law enforcement sources tell NBC News that suspect has been identified as 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh. Routh was unarmed when arrested, and it's not clear if he ever fired a weapon. But investigators say they recovered an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks, and a GoPro camera at the scene, not far from the former president.
Probably between 300 and 500 yards. But with a rifle and a scope like that, that's not a long distance.
The suspect has a long criminal and civil court history. He's also been outspoken on his support for Ukraine. In an interview with Semaphore last year, Routh discussed his efforts helping volunteers with the war effort there.
Ukraine is reluctant to be cooperative.
According to public records, Routh voted in a Democratic primary in March. In 2020, Routh wrote to Mr. Trump on social media, saying he supported him in 2016, but expressing disappointment with the former president. Overnight, in a post on Truth Social, Mr. Trump thanking the Secret Service and law enforcement for keeping him safe, and said it was a, quote, interesting day. Writing earlier in campaign fundraising emails, quote, my resolve is only stronger after another attempt on my life.